Alright, to start the video off, I'm going to show you guys how to create your data sheet so you can do the rest of your project. All you have to do under your Google form that you created, click on responses, and there's a little Google Sheet icon. If you click on it, it says create new Google Sheet, and it'll automatically create the Google Sheet for you. Once your Google Sheet is created, I'm going to go through the steps on how to create a dot plot. First thing we want to do when we're creating a dot plot is write an equation that makes the computer count how many times it sees a number in column B from your data. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to type equals. And we're going to use this formula that I wrote out to the right here that says count if, and then you go parentheses, and then we're using B because our data is in column B. We're going to use a dollar sign anytime we don't want something to change. So we're going to use dollar sign B, and then we're talking about row 2 where our first piece of data is starting. So we're going to go dollar sign 2. And then we do semicolon B2 comma B2. It's a lot of B2s. Close the parenthesis and hit enter. And then you're going to see that it automatically wants to fill in the rest of your chart. So you can go ahead and click the green check mark and it will automatically fill in your stuff. What it's doing is it's counting how many times it sees the number. Like for instance, let's just look at 7. 7 saw it once, then it saw it twice, then it saw it 3 times, and then at some point it found that it was in there 5 times. So it automatically counts how many times it sees that number. Once you've made this, now we can go ahead and make our dot plot. So to make the dot plot, we're going to, up here in the top part, we're going to click Insert Chart. It's a box with 3 lines on it. And it's going to automatically come up with column chart. So in order to get a dot plot, we're going to have to change the column chart to a scatter plot. Now that we've changed it to a scatter plot, we need to go ahead and edit the data range. So to do this, first of all, I'm going to delete that E10 or whatever is in there, and I'm going to click on the grid that's to the right, and the range I want to give is all of column B and column C. So I'm going to go B semicolon C, or you could go click on B and C. Click on B and drag it to C, and then it'll select everything that you see there. And then if you click OK, it automatically finds what you need. And then I put comma B2 as my the rest of my range there. So it pops up with combine ranges. We want it to be vertically. So now we can go ahead and customize our material. So we'll click on customize, and then we're going to want to go to chart and axis titles, and we'll go ahead and do our chart title. My title is how many, you'll just use your question. So how many cars have you owned in your lifetime? The horizontal axis in my case would be cars owned. Yours would be, shoes or hours of sleep or whatever it is that yours is about. And then the last part is vertical axis. For the vertical axis, this is the number of people. The next thing we want to go to is we want to adjust our vertical axis. So on our vertical axis, our minimum is going to be our smallest number, which in my case is 0. Our maximum is our highest number, or it could even be higher than the highest. Like if you want to go 25, because mine goes to 20, you could do that. You just need to be somewhere around the highest number. I'm going to go with 20 because that's my highest number. And then here it says allow bounds to hide. I don't want it to hide the bounds of my data, so I'm going to let that show up. And then we're going to come down to the last part is the grid. We're going to come down to the grid, and we want to make sure we select horizontal axis, and where it says steps, major steps, we want to use a 1. That way it numbers every single line so we can see all the data. And with that, it's ready to be put into your project. Okay, so to put it in your project, you want to go to your slides and you want to click Insert. And on Insert there's Chart. So you come down to Chart, and then it says From Sheets. If you click on that, it'll pull up all your recent stuff. And here's my sheet that I was just working with. So I click on it, and I click Select, and it'll pull up all the charts that you have in it. In this case, I only have one, so I would click on that one, leave it so it says Link to Spreadsheet, and I click Import. And then that chart that I made is now available inside my my Google Slides project. And that's how we create dot plots using Sheets and Excel. Alright, Sheets and Slides. Now that you've watched this, if you're still having difficulties, just make sure you come over and ask me, and I can help you get further along.